Hey guys, it's Ashley. I literally just shot this entire video and realized that you could only see me from the nose up, so I am refilming it because that's ridiculous. Nobody should have to see that. Anyways, as you can tell, we are not in my normal library position. That is because I am currently driving home from a weekend away in the mountains and I am stuck in this ridiculous traffic. Apparently there's an accident like 5 miles ahead, and so traffic is basically stopped. Oh, but look, I just got to go like 10 feet. That was exciting. But I figured I would use this time to just shoot a quick video and let you know how I did for Read-O-Rama, which ended yesterday. I will post a link to my Read-O-Rama TBR down below and somewhere up here if you're interested in hearing what that was all about and what books I was trying to read during this time. I did not meet all of my challenges. I had set out to do all 7 challenges and I failed. I knew I was going to fail because it was a busy week. I was going away the end of it, so no hard feelings there. So I ended up reading 3.5 books instead of 7 this week, which isn't too bad. I made half of the goals. Pretty pleased with that. And I know people who don't even read 3 books in a year, so I am way ahead of the curve here. The first book I read, obviously I don't have any books to show you because I am driving, but the first book I read was George's Marvelous Medicine by Roald Dahl. Premise is George is home alone with his grandmother who is very cranky and mean, and he decides he's going to swap out her medicine for one of his own concoctions, which he hopes will either make her better and nicer or will blow her up, and he doesn't really care which one happens. And so he sets out and starts making this medicine in a really funny way. The results are not at all what anyone expected. It was just really fun and silly. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to read more of Roald Dahl. The second book I read was The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson, which is one of those classics that I've just never read, but for some reason I had it on my shelf and it was really short, so I felt it was perfect for a readathon. I found it really interesting. I liked it a lot more than I expected to. It was really intriguing. Even though I kind of knew the story, I wanted to keep reading and figure out what actually happened. Horror is not my thing usually, but it's not really that scary of a horror novel. So, I mean, if that's what more of the old horror books are like, I might actually read more because I enjoyed it a lot. The third book I read was my favorite book of the week, and that was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I loved it so much. I thought it was so well done. My only complaint about it was that I think the whole thing wrapped up a little quick with the stone. I just felt like it was instantly better. I liked how it resolved, but it felt too clean and too perfect. And so I'm suspicious because I hear that this is just the first book in the series, according to Goodreads. This is just the beginning of the series. Whether it's a trilogy or more books than that, I'm not sure. But I know there's at least 3 books, so I'm wondering if this is going to come back into play because it seemed too easy. It seemed way too easy, and I am very suspicious of what's going to come. But I just loved the story. I just thought it was really interesting, the way the magic worked and the way the Londons interacted with each other and how Kel could go through them all. I thought the whole story was beautifully done. I loved it. I'm ready to read more V.E. Schwab. Kel and Lila, I ship them so hard. I am shipping them like Amazon Prime. And by that I mean it doesn't cost me anything and it's guaranteed delivery in 2 days. I love them so much. From the second interaction that they had, I was shipping them. That whole interaction that they had in her room of, well, what are you? I'm tied to your bed. Yeah, and what else? In trouble. More than just being tied to my bed. Yes. Oh. I loved that whole interaction. I loved every time that they interacted. I just love it so much. And so I can't wait to see what happens if they get to interact more in the next books. Please, I hope they do. But at the same time, I really love that Lila is still an independent woman. I like that it's still teased out that they're not actually a thing. I love that Lila gets to be independent. I single power. Woo! I just think she's a really interesting character, and I really hope she's in the rest of those series, because I'm gonna be upset if she's not. I mean, I love Cal, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy him a lot too, but Lila's where it's at. I need more Lila. So the half a book I read was Ellen DeGeneres' Seriously, I'm Kidding. I read half of that through the day yesterday. I would have finished it, except I figured, family time on the 4th of July takes precedence over sitting by myself on a porch reading, which also would have been fun. But family time at Clark's Trading Post. I got to ride a Segway and I saw bears. It was pretty awesome. I gotta say though, I'm pretty proud with myself. I put myself on a book buying ban a couple weeks back because I came home from BookCon with that ridiculous amount of books, and then I bought a couple extras, and so I bought a new bookshelf, and it's already full because of all the books that I had stacked on my floor. And so I had to put myself on a book buying ban. And so while we're up here, I drove past that bookstore that I'm always like, oh, I need to go in there sometime. I drove right past it. I didn't stop. I didn't even slow down. I did try to go to a bookstore last night, one of my favorite used bookstores up here, and they were closed. That saved me because I probably would have bought books even though I'm not supposed to. And then we went to a couple thrift stores and things, and I didn't buy any books. I got one book, but it was free and useful. That didn't count because I didn't have to pay for it. So I didn't buy it. It was free. I had 2 rules for this book buying ban. I don't usually have rules. I usually just have a date. But my 2 rules for this one were, I don't know, somebody's yelling about a truck that went through the Walmart, and he's like hanging out the window of a minivan, and now he's kind of looking at me, so I'm gonna hold on a second. Yeah, my 2 rules would start then, it was mid-June, I don't remember the exact date, mid-June, and it would end when I went abroad on July 31st. Rule number 2 was, there was one exception. I could buy 1 book for my trip. And I was thinking about which book it was going to be, and I finally decided that I'm going to buy, I haven't yet, The Air by Kira Cass, because I read the Selection series and I totally love that series. It's not the best writing, it's not the best main character, but I just love the story so much. It's so much fun. I mean, who doesn't want to read about The Bachelor meets Hunger Games, which is essentially what it is. In my mind, that's kind of the feel that I get from it, and I love it. It works so well. Kira Cass is awesome. You guys have helped me get through a little over a mile of traffic now. That's exciting. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you all had a great 4th of July, and I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.